Flintstone selection.
This is much more than just a collection of old frocks.
Sexy little number, that one.
And these garments are an important part of New Zealand fashion history.
It's like dress-ups, except none of them fit us.
Yeah, that's what has amazed us. They are so tiny, these ladies. They were really tiny. We're really struggling to get models. Absolutely struggling.
And these Taumarunui ladies are lucky enough to be the guardians of these stunning designs as they prepare for a unique fashion tea party this weekend.
And this kind of little peplum that was it was pleated.
The fashion show will celebrate the work of iconic Kiwi fashion designer Michael Mattar. He spent more than half a century at the top of the industry, winning acclaim for his ability to make women of all shapes and sizes feel beautiful.
He had this way of putting a fabric up under their chin to make sure it suit their colouring or their hair.
And he'd say, "Oh, this would look fabulous on you," he'd say. And I thought, "Oh, I don't know if I like that," but I'd put it on. He knew, he just knew, yeah. And you'd go on that and then he'd say, "You've lost weight." That was really good.
Mattar took an interest in fashion from the age of 10. As he grew older, he made clothes for his two sisters. Later, he took over the shed at the back of the family home, and by 1950, he'd established a business on the main street of the small rural town.
This was what I wore to my daughter's wedding in '93. And Michael made the little hat and the handbag, and that's where they put the spray of flowers on it. Because he said, "Don't put it on, pin it on the jacket." Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I just wanted to wear a little hat to the wedding, and a lot of people didn't. But I'm saying Michael's known them. Whatever.
Anne Rupe was one of Mattar's machinists in the 50s and says her father sweet-talked the renowned designer into giving her a job.
And once we knew what it was we had to do, he did the construction. He did all the cutting, gave us the instructions, tell us what to do. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Somebody's coming in, we were fitting at 2 o'clock and we had to have it ready because we'd only have from about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to get it ready for him to do his fitting. And I'll be forever grateful to Michael. And he was lovely to work for. He had a hard case little laugh.
And in 1991, he was acknowledged with the Queen's Service Medal.
The peplum look mightn't be quite in at the moment, but you take that off and you've got a gorgeous dress that you could just wear.
While the city might have been cooling, Mattar stayed true to his grass roots.
He'd actually been offered jobs in New York and around the world, and he was just quite happy being Michael in Taumarunui.
He didn't want to go out of town. He wanted to live here because his parents were here.
He wasn't famous in the locals' eyes because we didn't see what he did out of town, and it wasn't till he was very sick and we got Te Papa involved with coming up to look at all his gowns, his award-winning gowns, that we went through his photo albums, and the photo albums had all these amazing history of fashion parades and Benson and Hedges awards that he'd won, I think 3 years in a row, the Wallboard Awards, and I was just absolutely gobsmacked and blown away that he'd done all this work and no one knew.
Michael was there and he just made lovely gowns and so on, and that's how it was.
And for the last 5 months, organisers have been overwhelmed by fabric, fashion and stories about Mattar and his life.
No, I don't need any more dresses, we've just got too many. And where do they all come from? People have just held on to them, I think, because it's got his label in the back and they don't want to part with it because maybe it cost them, maybe it had a special memory, and maybe it was just Michael, because there was just something special about the man.
More than 200 garments and 16 wedding dresses will be shown at the Taumarunui Memorial Hall, but only 19 models are lucky enough to slip into some of the haute couture designs.
His clothes are just out of this world. You can go back to a different time because the fabrics are so, you can tell what's from the 80s, you can tell what was maybe from the 60s. Some of the garments I'm wearing are really long down to my feet, thick woolen winter, just, and it makes you feel really girly.
Michael Mattar died in 2004, but his legacy lives on through his designs, which are now helping fundraise money for Hospice Waikato. Hunter Kora, Local Focus.